Denver Broncos. I'm scared of them. I'm scared of them because I don't know what they're going to do. So, hey guys, what's going on? James here. Today we're talking about the draft needs of the Denver Broncos. Now, when I look at the draft needs of the Denver Broncos, I can identify cornerback as one, I can identify edge rusher as one, offensive tackle as one, and quarterback as well. When I looked into doing research and all this, a lot of websites had tight end listed as a need, and I understand tight end is a need. But I feel if you have pick number 5, you're not drafting a tight end. Maybe in the later rounds, that's kind of a need. But to be honest, I'm not that familiar with the tight end prospects just because I know there's one prospect out there who is actually like an athletic freak. If the Broncos can get them, they should get him. But you guys will have to do your own research with that, unfortunately. But again, the Denver Broncos hold pick number 5. I'm not talking about pick number 4 because that belongs to the Cleveland Browns, which I already did a video on their draft needs. But looking at cornerback, edge, offensive tackle, and quarterback, or offensive line, I guess I should say. Specifically guard, more or less. That's where I get scared. But a cornerback situation, let's talk about that first, okay? You lost Aqib Talib. You have Chris Harris, who's pretty much aging. You have Bradley Roby, who I feel is actually a pretty good piece, but you need a little bit more depth there and just kind of more star talent, I guess you could say. That Broncos defense isn't necessarily getting any younger. Some guys are getting a little bit older, so you do need to look into some cornerbacks. And I've labeled some guys, if the Broncos want to trade back, like some people are speculating that they might do, which I really hope they do, by the way. They could trade back with a team who needs a quarterback like the Arizona Cardinals or like the Buffalo Bills. That's what a lot of teams are speculating that's happening. It's either the Browns are going to trade back at pick number 4, the Broncos are going to trade back at pick number 5. And I feel the Broncos do need a good chunk of picks to be able to build up that good chunk of depth. So let's say they do trade back with the Buffalo Bills, just for this scenario's sake, and they have pick 12 and they have pick 22. So really, when I look at that, pick 12, I'm probably thinking guys like Carlton Davis, Denzel Ward, Josh Jackson. I'm at the cornerback position. I feel like all those guys in other drafts could be like very top tier draft picks, but with just the pure raw talent of this draft class, it's kind of hard it's hard, you know what I'm saying? It's rough. But looking at edge, a guy I haven't mentioned a lot is Marcus Davenport, and he's a guy who might be available at 12, but probably not really. But I think 5's too high for Davenport. I'm gonna be probably talking about Marcus Davenport later on, kind of in like the what should I say? Kind of in like the after the top, like at the end of the top 10, I'll probably be talking more about Marcus Davenport. But again, pick 5, Bradley Chubb might be there, Vita V might be there, De'Aaron Payne, Nathan Shepard. Again, the only guy you'd probably consider taking at 5 is Bradley Chubb, and later on there is some good prospects again, like at defensive end, like I stated in the Jets video, there's a guy from Missouri, there's a prospect from Wake Forest I know of, as well as some other guys out there. And then looking at offensive line, it's kind of a big deal because you just signed Case Keenum at quarterback, which we'll get to that later, but you need to protect him because after that you don't have very good options. You have Brock Osweiler and Paxton Lynch. Now I like Paxton Lynch, but he hasn't proven that he can be a real game changer at quarterback, and Case Keenum at least somewhat has, especially with his last season with the Vikings. So you need to protect Case Keenum. Enter some guys like Quentin Nelson again. I love talking about Quentin Nelson. He's the top guard in the draft. So there you have it, Quentin Nelson. And again, offensive tackle is still a need. There's some prospects there, but it's kind of rough because all these guys aren't necessarily projected to go in the top 5, and some later guys are debatable on how well they can do. So honestly, if I was the Broncos, I'd probably highly consider a trade back, because you don't really need a quarterback. But when looking at the quarterbacks, obviously the top guys, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, they're probably not going to be there, nor is Josh Rosen. So enter Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and if you want to wait, Mason Rudolph, like I've stated before. So these guys really could if you really think Case Keenum's a bridge quarterback, which, let's be honest, Case Keenum is a bridge quarterback, then that's when you would probably look to these guys and consider, like, okay, who can we get at pick number 5? Who's going to be left, you know? And is it worth it to take a quarterback here, or do we trade back a little bit, maybe with like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who maybe want to jump the Colts to get a Bradley Chubb or a Quentin Nelson, and we stockpile some picks and we get more depth for our cornerback positions, for our edge rushers, for our offensive line, and maybe we can still take Mason Rudolph with a second round pick or something like that, you know, or maybe we can trade back into the first round to take Mason Rudolph or Lamar Jackson, who knows. But Lamar Jackson's probably going to go like before pick 7, if I'm being honest. But yeah, guys, the Denver Broncos do certainly have a lot of options. So Broncos fans, sound off in the comments section below. What do you think your guys' draft needs are, and how do you feel that they can be addressed? I'm going to try and look more into like later round prospects for you guys, because I know I keep on talking about the same guys for the first 4 videos I have been, but if I'm being honest, a lot of these teams in the top of the list have kind of the same need, you know, defensive line, offensive line, defensive backs, and quarterback. That's, you know, the Browns need help with that. The Giants need help with that. The Jets need help with that, and so do the Broncos. That's just kind of like, that's what bad teams need help with, you know? That's kind of a running theme, and I'm sorry if it's getting a little bit repetitive, but that's just how it is. But I'll try and do more for you guys in these next couple of videos, so don't worry. But in the next couple of videos, we will be talking about picks 6 and 7, which is the Indianapolis Colts and Mr. Bucks Nation, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to be the second video we will be talking about in tomorrow's video. Set of videos, I guess I should say. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, Broncos fans, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough. We're only like 60 some away, and I can't wait to reach that goal. So share this with your friends, like it, subscribe if you're new. Seriously, get it out there as much as you can, because we are so close to 1,000 subscribers, guys. It's incredible. So yeah, hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. But until then, goodbye for now, guys. See ya.